Join Ed from Roll2Win and Jeff from MidAtlantic Craps as they go beyond the felt and dive deep into the world of dice. In this interactive live stream, where they are leaving no chips unturned from strategy, betting trends, control shooting, and casino stories to your live questions and comments. Get in the chat, share your thoughts, ask questions, and be part of the action. Whether you're a dice influencer, a weekend warrior, or just craps curious, the show is for you. Show's title is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned. Show's title is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned. Show's title is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned. Show's title is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned. Whether you're a dice influencer, a weekend warrior, or just craps curious, the show is for you. Show's title is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned, or chips left unturned.
Well, everyone, it's Jeff from MidAtlantic Craps. Welcome back to my YouTube channel. Also, dual streaming over here on Ed from Roll2Win's YouTube channel. That's my good friend. That's Ed. Let's see, I do this right. It's that way. Hey, Ed, good evening. How are you doing, my friend?
Jeff, I am doing fabulous on this Sunday evening. I hope you are as well, sir.
I am. Had a good weekend. Finally, the weather cleared up from the hurricane area off the Atlantic coast, and we got a little bit of those outer bands. Got the big surf that skirted across the, I guess, from Nag's Head up to just north of the New Jersey shore. They've got a lot of high waves and stuff. No damage that I heard of in my area. But anyway, I had a good weekend. It cleared out and was a beautiful weekend here.
I was glad that hurricane missed everybody.
Yeah, me too.
Definitely.
I mean, big hurricane, big hurricane.
It's the 20th anniversary of Katrina this week.
It is indeed. What I used to do in my
that was a nasty one. Woo.
It was. What I did in my former job, I got an opportunity to go down to New Orleans twice, once a year after, and then 3 years after, and it was a good learning lesson for the job that I had back then. And although we sent a contingent down to help, I was not part of that contingent. They kept the fat man back at home.
New Orleans got a lot of the press, of course. Of course, it was bad. It was very bad in New Orleans, as you know. But the entire coastline of Mississippi was obliterated.
Yep, I know. I went back 3 years after, and down in the 13th Ward or the 13th Precincts, whatever they called it, you saw all this infrastructure. I saw it when it was devastated with debris, and then 3 years later, you saw streets and cul-de-sacs and fire hydrants, and there's no buildings. It was all just washed away. Yep.
That's the hurricane that changed Biloxi on the gambling side, because the large barge casinos that had to be out on the bay, they landed 80 to 100 yards inland when it all settled in, and so they were totally destroyed, landing on old valuable homes and tour places and all that kind of thing. It was just
and
it was as bad as anything you've ever seen.
Was that the storm that changed Harrah's? Remember how it used to stretch across?
Harrah's was not even there. That was
okay.
The Grand. The Grand was a massive casino that was afloat out there, and it landed about 100 yards inland. And Harrah's, because what's Harrah's now was just the hotel for the Grand. The casino was on the water. The hotel and all was there where Harrah's is. That's what was their hotel. And so Harrah's bought it, turned it into their property, and then that's why there's two different parking decks, because they're both all used to be going to the Grand there. So
Yeah, well, look, let's
Anyway.
let's go ahead and give into it. Maybe we can talk about that when we get to your little segment on what's going on. We got a lot of people watching. We are dual streaming tonight. We don't care what channel, what YouTube you're watching, whether you're watching MidAtlantic Craps or you're watching Roll2Win Craps. Just give us a thumbs up and say hello in the chat. We'll be glad to talk to you. We'll talk about what we're going on about this. This is, I guess, what you can call episode 2. It's Beyond the Passline. Ed and I were
season 1, episode 2.
Yeah, I mean, I guess we could call it that, Ed, because we never really talked about it. On the first show, you said maybe once a year, but we were inundated with people that liked the show so much that they wanted us to do it again. So lo and behold, here we are, and we don't have a routine of how often we're going to do this. We both have other things going on in YouTube world and in real life situations, so we don't know what's going to happen. But the show is Beyond the Passline, no chips left unturned, and I got the title right this time, Ed, because last time I went the whole show and had it spelled wrong up there. But it is what it is. So welcome. Just let the viewers know there's no format. You and I are just going to talk. We're going to take questions in the chat. If you have a question, please premise it with a capital Q and a semicolon. If you'd like to join the show, what we're going to do this time is if you want to come onto the show, you don't have to show your face. Just use the audio. You're going to send me an email at jeff@midatlanticcraps.com. I'll shoot you a link. You don't have to download anything. We'll bring you onto the show. We're going to limit the guests to about 10 or 15 minutes so that we can have room for other people and other talk. And there's no format of how long the show's going to go. We might be done in 20 minutes for all we know. Last time went 2 hours and I want to say 2 hours and 43, but it might have been 2 hours and 23 minutes on the show.
We went too long. We
did, and you had to go to work the next day. Me, I'm just I'm retired and tired.
Yeah.
Oh,
I have to go to work tomorrow too.
Well, I understand that, and Sunday nights is a good night to hold a show like this. I know there's other things going on in the YouTube world, in the gambling world, and in the craps world, but it's just nice to be able to just sit here and talk with you, talk with the folks in the chat, taking a look at some of the things that are here, and trying to produce the show and have a good show talking about craps. If you got questions about the East Coast, the Mississippi area, and Las Vegas, we need to get somebody like Joe or somebody Arnell to come on and talk about the upper Midwest area about craps there, because I have not been there. It is someplace I'd like to go at some point. Here we are.
I want to throw something out there real quick.
Sure, go ahead.
It just came into my mind when you said the upper Midwest. Everybody, you might remember $5 bill that was he was the veteran from the Vietnam War. I mean, the guy got run over by a jet plane on the deck of the carrier, all kind of severe issues.
I remember the episode you did.
Yeah, and he just now, just in about a month and a half ago, got his full disability from the VA, which included all the back pay.
I was going to say, he's kind of, I don't want to say old. I don't want to make it sound like he's old, but he's older than, I mean, he fought in Vietnam, or he was on the Navy in Vietnam in 68, 69. So you do the math. I mean, he was 18 to 20 years old then. If you just want to round off to 20, go do the math. So wow,
he's got all his back pay now, and he's in the process of trying to move down to around the Tampa area. I believe he's got some family down there. He wants to he's gonna be able to get out of that cheap ass rental place that he was in down up in Chicago area and move down to Tampa, hopefully before long. So that's good news. I'm glad. I was very thankful that he finally was able to get I remember back pay and his disability.
I remember the episode you did of Tales for the Table, and real quick, Ed, tell us about the Tales for the Table and where they can find all those interviews, and actually the purpose behind the Tales for the Table, why you did it.
Well, why I did it was because I lost a good friend that In fact, you were with me in Biloxi when we got the news, I believe.
Yeah, yeah.
That year, and so, and he same thing as Howard. How they both died of cancer, pancreatic cancer, and I got to thinking about it, and I said, there's too many of the old timers that I know, and we don't have a record of their story. And it's evolved out of just the old timers, but I've interviewed Howard's on there. Thank God I've got two series in there with Howard, talking about how he got started and everything. Same with Heavy. Gargoyle, that's what made Gargoyle an instant hero in the YouTube world. I mean, he became a folk hero that night, and then, I mean, we've gone on. We got Dean the Machine earlier this year. I did Michael Feldman this year. I mean, I've tried to bring in people as they come to mind, and we can get a schedule.
You did this guy right here too. I just put up in the chat. You did him, Tony Leo. Did Tony Leo
Earlier this year. I've tried to get in people who've been influential in the craps game, and some of them under the radar. I mean, we had 2 or 3 guys on there that nobody really knew of other than maybe me. And so they're all on my channel. There's a tab marked Tales from the Table, I think. So they're all there. They'll be there forever unless YouTube gets rid of them. So, but if they do, I still got them on the hard drive.
No, but I thought when you started that whole series, I guess it's almost 2 years ago, I thought that was a very good idea. And fortunately for you, you did get some great interviews with a couple of people that have passed, and that's unfortunate that they passed. But it's glad that you have documented or recorded, part of their story.
We'll do some more. I need some suggestions from folks. Y'all got somebody that probably got a good story that needs to be, I'm not going to say memorialized, but put into the memory banks of YouTube. Let me know if I how to get a hold of them, and I'll try to do an interview with them. I like to do it because it's fun. It's entertaining for me. And I think it's good for the craps world just to have this ongoing logbook of stories from people who've had an impact on this game.
Right. Yeah. No, it's, we just kind of floated into that topic. And I'm glad that you brought $5 bill back up because that was an interesting story. There's a couple things.
He was a guy nobody'd ever heard of, would never have heard of had I not have brought him in there and got him to do it. And he was so nervous.
I'll put this back up here. No, I'm not laughing at you.
I did see that. I saw that one. I saw that. The lies from the table.
I didn't read the whole thing as I need to do a new series, Lies from the Table with KD. If you don't know who that is, you're not in the YouTube world. And then Jimmy, of course, there's a quiet cricket in the house here. And John makes me crazy. Here's a suggestion. Uncle Mel.
Uncle Mel turned me down.
Oh, did he really? Well, maybe now that we've brought this out, he'll
I sent him a message and he turned me down.
Oh wow! Was he busy? Was he heading to one of his
No, he said he didn't think he would fit into what I was trying to do for some reason. I think maybe he just didn't understand what I was trying to do. But anyway,
well,
he was one of the first. I tried to get him on the very, very first time I was doing it back 2 years ago, whatever it was.
Yeah, I imagine when you started looking for people to come on, you there was no precedence yet. Nobody knew what you were doing, so maybe they kind of had an issue. I know there's a couple people that you kind of recorded more than once with, and that you've got I think with Heavy you've got several episodes.
There's really I think 3 out there with Heavy, and part of that was because he didn't have a mic on the first one, and it was awful, and I couldn't get the echo out. So I was like, we're gonna keep working on it till we get some of this right. Darth Nader's on there.
Yeah, that's right.
That was a great interview with Darth Nader. Took us all the way back to his first experience with Bo Parker. Yeah,
that was unique. And of course, now with Bo, you're connected, if you will. With the I guess it's called the experience now because you can get it in 2 locations coming to a town near you.
Yeah. Bo, we got Bo done. Bo scared me because when I called him, he said, "Yeah, but you better make sure you know what you're doing and how to do it right." And then about a year and a half later, he says, "Where's my interview?" And I said, "Well, you scared me too bad. I didn't want to screw it up." So anyway, anyway,
John's got an idea. Can you get the Dominator on?
I wouldn't even try.
I knew that was gonna. I didn't know what kind of response to get when I put that up there, but I had to put it up there. So.
I don't. If he wants to do it, he can contact me.
Yeah,
I'll be glad to do it if he wants to contact me.
Well, that is one person I've never talked to, but I got to be honest with you. I mean, I know that you teach and you've taught before, and you've been with Power Axis, and Tony teaches, Bo teaches. I've never met the Dominator, but I've been at the table multiple times with several of his instructors and several of his players, unique to watch the various things they do that
I know a bunch of them. I thought about trying to get Ron to Don on, but
yeah. Now I got a friend that has a friend of yours too that has a quick connect to him. Clay might be able to hook you up with that.
I need him to get something besides an iPhone to do it on, because every time I see him on anything in the past, that was part of the reason I hadn't done it. Maybe we can ship him over to somebody's house and do it on a real computer.
Well, I think Dave Carlin.
It needs to be quality.
I think Dave Carlin did it one time, had him on, and then
I think he was sitting in a car.
He was. At a sales lot, he was selling cars. But you had Dave Carlin on too, didn't you? Didn't you do Dave? I know I did.
No, I did not. We did him on Casino Tears. We had an interview.
Oh, that's right. I knew that he was there. Yes, and then I did one of my interviews from probably 2.5 years ago. I called it "Interviewing the First Craps Interviewer." It's on my channel.
I remember.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. No, and Dave's just one heck of a guy. I've never played craps with him, but he's just so personable.
Carlos is asking about 220 Inside. I got to get that one done. We actually recorded one 2 years ago with 220 Inside, and the connection was so poor that it was totally unusable. I couldn't get anything out of it. So I got to get 220 back on to get it done. Yeah, Sharpshooter is still around, but he is. I don't know how to get a hold of Sharpshooter.
Wow. Well, in any event, I mean, we kind of flowed into that and wasted. I should say wasted.
Yeah, we did. It's talk. That's what we're doing. We don't have an agenda.
Yeah, so I'm glad we're getting some interaction, because my chat screen's over here on this side of the studio,
yes, Huggy Bear, Debbie Soft Touch is still around, and I would love to get her on, and I've only got one contact that could possibly bring that off. And if I can do it, I will do it, because everybody would love to hear from Debbie Soft Touch.
Scott says Don Wood, but you've already had Feldman on, and Don's it's the same Don Wood. He's with the Feldman's group, but I mean, there's another person. Yeah. I'm not sure about this one. John on my side says Wong. I don't know if he's trying to say something, but I'm not familiar with that. Are you, Ed?
Oh yeah, Wong on dice. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Right. Yeah. No. Right. So, look, if you have a question for Ed or me about anything to do with craps, we'll try to answer it. If you want to know about the Atlantic City side of it, the Mississippi side of it, either the Vegas side of it, we'll do it. We'd be glad to have somebody come on and join the show. Jeff at MidAtlanticCraps.com, and we'll bring you on the show. It was, give you 10 or 15 minutes on the show with us, and we'll be good. Jeff at MidAtlanticCraps.com.
We'd love to have some interaction.
Yeah. There you go.
Dealers are shy about getting on camera.
Yeah. God Complex, who we only know him as that. You've talked to him.
Yeah.
I personally have not talked to him, but I know G's talked to him, but you've talked to him. He'd be a great person to come on. Maybe we can do one of those. You could do one of those shows where you kind of gray out their face.
Make him look like El Toro or something, where there's no face on there. Just an outline.
Right. Yeah. Oh, you could do that. But that would be funny. I'm actually
in fact, El Toro might be a good one to get on there.
Yeah, El Toro would definitely be one for the show. Yes, indeedy. I'm putting this in there. I hope that I spelled that right because I typed it really fast. Both sides. If you want to get in the show, that's what you do right there. Looking at my emails. We'll bring you in. Jen joined us last time, late in the show. She made our show go longer, but being on the West Coast, she's a few hours behind us. It's 8:50 my time, 7:50 your time. So you're in Alabama and I'm here in Maryland.
You want to bring up our schedule? Let me talk about
sure.
what's going on our crap schedule this year and next finish of this year and next year.
Sure.
Let me start while they got that screen up. I'll just go ahead and say that the October event for this year has completely 100% been sold out for a while.
Wow.
Well, we only take 8 per day, and it's been sold out for several months. So let's go into 2026.
All right.
First one is in Biloxi. Right now we have, I think, 4 slots available. So if you're sitting here going, well, it's January before that's going to be, and I can wait till November or December and make a decision, it's probably iffy if you're going to get in, if you wait that long. And I'm not trying to push you into making a decision. We don't take your money until about 3 weeks before it starts anyway, but you got to be on the list and have committed. Things happen. Sometimes people got to move around, got to shift from one class to another or one event to another. But if it's booked, we're not taking any more names. We will take a waiting list. So I think we've got 4 left on Sunday for this one.
Sweet.
And we got it March of next year in Vegas. Saturday is sold out. And I think we have 4 left on Sunday. Right? So there you go. I mean, that's a long time away, but we've already got people committed to making plans to be there on those dates.
Cool.
So then it becomes a waiting list situation.
Yep, it sure does. Sure does. Let's see. What's the next one? You want to move on to the next date? Oh, look at this.
This is the Brown Water Bash. Nobody asked me anymore if there's going to be a Brown Water Bash next year because right there it is. May 15th through the 17th. The only thing I'll add in addition to what's on that screen is I probably will be doing some individual or small group sessions, classes, if you will, tune-ups on Thursday and Friday prior to it starting. But that hasn't been fine-tuned yet, but it's going to happen. I just got to get off my lazy self.
Oh, I'm sure you're going to get somebody request for a half day.
And I've already got somebody on the list already for one of those slots. So. Anyway, it is what it is.
All right, next
glad
date.
to see you there, Scott. All right, that's Biloxi. Hey, nobody signed up for that one yet.
Really?
It's wide open next July.
Well, let's get one of those spots. We'll get one of them spots filled up from today's show. I don't want to toot our horns, but after 2 weeks ago, you had a couple people jump right on the January date.
How long has it been since we made this announcement, Jeff?
2 weeks.
All right, so it's been only 2 weeks, and January is almost booked up.
Wow.
Breezy Bear, I'm having your drinkware going right here, but I do have a glass out here with a straw on it, so don't shoot me.
All right, so we got well, you talked about July. You didn't have anybody signed up, so hopefully we got somebody signed up from here. That'd be almost a year away. And now we're well over a year away.
That one's over a year away. October 2nd, 3rd, and 4th. That in Las Vegas. So
wow,
that's our schedule. That is the schedule. There might be something I do in November. I haven't decided yet of next year, but that's a long ways away yet. But that's the official schedule right there.
Yeah, we'll run through it one more time. In Biloxi, January 16th, 17th, and 18th of 2026. Then we have Las Vegas, March 6th through the 8th there at the in Vegas. Then comes the Biloxi Brownwater Bash. Are we going to number it this time, or are you just going to go with it? Number 4. Okay,
That's
number 4. Didn't know if you were going to number it or not. Then July 25th, 26th, 2026. And then, of course, we just talked about Vegas, baby, Vegas. All right. I don't see any questions coming in. Somebody's got to have a question somewhere. So if you got a question for Ed or me, please put it in the form of a question there, and we'll we'll be glad to answer your question. If you want to join the show, I just put it in there, Jeff at MidAtlanticCraps.com. Looking at my email, nothing's come in yet, but please feel free to come on.
Yeah.
We won't take but 10 or 15 minutes of your time, and then we'll move on.
Somebody jump on if you want. If you're not, we'll cut the show short tonight.
Yeah, we will. I mean, there's got to be somebody out there. I mean, this the whole concept of this show. Ed and I were talking one time, and I said, Ed, I just feel like turning YouTube on and going ranting. I was going to rant and just talk, and people get mad at me if they want to get mad at me. And Ed said, I kind of think we should. I was thinking the same thing. Why don't we do it together? Well, we haven't ranted. This isn't one of your review videos that you do. We're just here. So
I've been extraordinarily polite on the last few.
Yes, you have. I've done shows with you for almost maybe a little more than 3 years, and a couple of those shows we've both gotten a little testy, if you will. So anyway,
I mean, I can get testy if anybody wants me to.
Yeah, Mark says, "Ask the 8-ball. He has all the answers." Am I the 8-ball? I don't know.
I was gonna do that one time. I was gonna try to take an 8-ball apart and get that little thing that floats up to the top, and I was gonna change what it says. I was gonna get it to give me die sets, and I was gonna roll it around and then put it in front of the camera and say, "Okay, 8-ball says I got to shoot this set," and do videos on that. But I couldn't ever figure out how to get the liquid back in there and keep it from leaking all over my table. But I was going to do that.
Tony says rants are good, or rants good. So
yeah,
I can rant about a lot of things, Tony, especially things that irk me. But
you wanna rant about the idiocy and the stupidity of people just throwing hundreds of thousands of dollars away just to make a freaking YouTube video.
Oh my gosh.
To try to make a very, very, very expensive commercial for a sports booking organization.
You did a review on that
How
one.
How stupid is that shit?
Yes.
I did.
Yes, you did.
That's about as stupid a dadgum thing as people can do.
Yeah.
And people like it because, I mean, it's. I guess people like to see idiots lose money and just see how stupid people can be to lose money.
Well, I mean,
plenty of those fake folks out there.
Well, there is, and I don't think this guy here that I just put up here is one of them. Although he's hanging out with some big YouTubers nowadays. But VDT, he started out doing videos from call it a hidden camera if I will. But his videos are realistic, and this guy here, VDT. When he plays, you're actually seeing what he's doing. Now, obviously, he edits his videos and shows you all the good stuff. But he's had a couple, especially a couple shorts that he's put out that actually show bad things can happen at the table. And you and I both know it doesn't always go our way. And, it takes...
No.
Yeah, no. It takes a lot to be able to... And I don't want to go through the whole thing of bankroll management and mindset, but it takes a lot to play this game, be successful, and prosper, if you will. There's so many people, Ed, that I see, and it bothers me that you see somebody buying at the table, $300-400. They're playing a $10 or $15 table, $300 or $400, and 10 minutes later they're bringing out another $100 bill, and they're bringing out another $100 bill, and it just goes on, and it's like, dude or ma'am, there's a way you can play this game where you don't have that much exposure, and you're just feeding that casino. The casino doesn't even need the I guess on their case it'd be positive EV, but negative EV. They don't even need that because there's people like that just it's like putting dollar bills in a slot machine. I don't know. Maybe that's my rant, and I should shut up. Maybe.
Well, you see it a lot of places, especially when you're trying to scout a table that maybe you want to get on, and they got a rack that's about empty, and somebody will say, let's hang out that guy right there, that gal right there. They're going to be out of the game. We'll get a couple spots. And then I always go, how much have they got in their pockets? Because they're going to drag some more 20s out or some hundreds. Yep. Usually it's 20s. I see a lot of 20s. I see a lot of 20s coming out of pockets.
I like what Dr. S just said. We can consider them train wrecks. I think that's a good. We probably should have some T-shirts printed up and say, here's No, you remember the old...
Put their names on it.
Right, but you remember the old comedian that would do, here's your sign, I can't remember who that is. We can just go, here's your T-shirt.
yeah, here's your T-shirt.
I don't know who did that, here's your sign. I don't know who that is.
I don't either. I don't either.
Ben says it's a good rant, Jeff. It's hard not to be those people. Hey, we all, Ben, we all started out as those people. Let's see here. Let me get this down so my production works right. Carlos says, "What is Ed's favorite system to play?" Ed, I'm gonna let you handle that because I know you don't specifically
Jeff,
call it a
you know
system.
the answer to that.
I know,
Jeff,
but
you know the answer to that question.
the question said Ed.
So go ahead and tell him. Be my mouthpiece.
Well, you don't have a system. You do basically trend betting. You don't bet on everybody. You qualify every single shooter there is, including yourself, and you practice
I play
like
light
you.
and dark.
Yep, and you play like you practice, and you practice like you play. As far as the actual betting process, I know I was on a call a little while ago with John and those guys. I was quiet the whole time. They were talking about the Craps for the Cure, which we do need to talk about sometime during the show. Maybe John should pop in here or something. I don't know. But I was listening to the call, and he was going over a section that's going to be Saturday on you, I believe it is. It's called Bet on Me, and you're going to be a guest over there on the Craps for the Cure. I forgot the time slot, but Vegas time. But in any event,
I think I'm first. I'm right after the opening ceremonies or something. I think I'm the first guest.
Yeah.
But it is my wife's birthday weekend, and I got a lot going on that weekend. So he was kind enough to get me on early so I can get going.
Oh wow! This is a long text. John Perry yesterday in sports YouTuber goofing the craps table throws out a $5,000 chip across the table, and the shooter just nails a 20 roll. Wow, that's that. I don't know if I understand the full thing there, Biff, but it takes all kinds, including
he just put out a clickbait deal. Unfortunately, when I do a reaction to some of these fools, they come up on my YouTube feed for a while, and so he just had one that these unknown strangers just made me rich, and so I didn't even watch it. But that was the clickbait title. That's got to be what he's talking about because he was holding up a few bands. So, he's an idiot for betting that big. But congratulations for winning part of his losses back.
Well, thank you, Matt. Matt says we need to hit the like up button, and I just did look a second ago. 48 on my channel and 45 on your channel, so we have a good audience currently at the moment. That's good. I was going to put this up here. Tony says there's a big difference between playing craps and winning at craps. Let's talk about this just a second. I mean, that's true though, Ed.
That is a good one.
Yeah, I mean, anybody can play craps, but winning at craps, that's sort of like anybody. When you're younger, you can be a little league player, senior league player, get to some maybe even triple A ball club, but you're never going to make it to the big plate. I think the percentages, I read that one time, or I heard that on a show one time, the percentages of somebody that wants to be a baseball star is so minute. They can play the game, but are you really serious again? That might not have been a very good analogy, what I just put up there. I'm going to put it up here again. Playing craps and winning at craps. Ed, we both play.
Huge difference.
Yeah, huge difference.
A lot of people play even if they've never played before. They're playing,
right?
But they don't know how to win. They don't know how to take advantage of what's being tossed. They don't have an exit strategy on the downside. They don't have an exit strategy. Well, they do. They're broke. And then they don't have an exit on the win strategy because they stay too long until they are broke. So the only strategy those people generally have is, I'm broke, I got to leave the table.
Right.
There's a lot of those. There's a big difference. Like, was that Tony? Tony just put up there? Was that Tony that put that up?
Yeah, it was. This one here? Yeah.
I mean, they're winning at craps is not easy. The thing is a lot of people are up and don't leave. At some point during their session, they stay until they're a loser. And that's their fault.
Absolutely.
That is their fault.
And that's the reason why I kind of said I wanted to talk about playing and winning. The winning side takes so many facets to even break even at this game. It's hard to do. Obviously we're walking a casino and they're there to make money, but you have an opportunity if you play smart and it just I don't want to turn this into a positive rant about how to play because we don't have that much time in a session here to actually do that. But Carlos did try to. He said he was trying to be funny and trying to get you to rant.
Oh, okay. I did not take the bait.
Demon Dog.
Pass.
That's somebody we could get Chris to come on and talk about those Midwest places. Juliet and Illinois.
I've had the good fortune of playing with him a couple of times. He came down to Tunica a couple of years ago, or
that's
a year
where I
and a
met
half
him.
ago, and then he and I played up in just south of Indianapolis.
Yep.
And I made a lot of money on his roll, and he had turned his bets off.
Oh,
And
man.
I told him that if he turned his bets on, I'd beat him up.
Well, that's just like I was a guest on the Full of Chips podcast here recently, and Chris and
I
Craig
listened
and
to
I
that.
we were talking about a few things, and Craig had a roll twice I've been at the table where either his bets were off or he wasn't progressing his bets, and he didn't play the ATS, and damn if he didn't hit the ATS 2 times while he wasn't even there. And I said, Craig, you keep on throwing, and I'll just put your ATS up for you. Speaking of Craig, he says, Ed, what do you look forward to when you're hosting the Brownwater Bash versus the Casino Tiers experience? It's a good question.
2 totally different types of events. 2 totally different types of events. When we're doing the Casino Tiers experience, we are trying to coach and work with the attendees, make sure that they are our priority for that 8-hour session plus play at night together. We have a big cocktail party on Friday night, so then we've got a class or a group of people on Saturday. We've got a group of people on Sunday. They're both maxed out at 8 people per day. That way, Bo and myself give them maximum time. During that process, we take them downstairs to eat at lunch at the Aria with us. It's all in the deal. I mean, the lunch is on us, so to speak. So there's a totally different situation. We're there to learn, help people be better craps players, improve their toss. We talk to them about betting. Bo has a way to bet. I have a way to bet. While we don't see eye to eye on everything, you get both sides. And it's a good learning experience for everybody. He works on sets. I work more on the grip and the toss, so that helps a lot. The Brownwater Bash, that's just, hey, show up. That's it. We're going to go have some drinks in the VIP lounge, and we'll see you at a table somewhere in Biloxi. That's really all. I mean, the Brownwater Bash is, for me, more stressful than doing the Casino Tiers events because there's bigger demands on my time by more people. I mean, we had 70 or 75 people there last March. Let's see if we can get it to 100.
Yeah, that's what I said
We'll get it to
before.
100. If we can get the Brownwater Bash up to 100 people attending during that weekend, man, then we can really, make some waves on the coast, so to speak. And then we have a private table generally. That's for the last couple of 3 years, and Hard Rock's been generous to us on that, and we have a good time with it. We do have minimum buy-ins. We've got a limited number of slots available. Everybody should understand that. Don't ask if you can get on the private table, because you can't. If you ask, you ain't ever going to be on it.
Well, we always talk about the private table, and that is a unique situation, but it is part of the event. I mean, there's
Yeah.
So, but,
Well, for me, it's a wind down because there's been a lot of the last two. Well, like I know last year there were so many people there, and I had to go hide and just chill out in my room all Sunday afternoon because I was getting ready to put serious money on a table, and I didn't want to be worn out. I didn't want to be tired, and I kind of did that this year a little bit. Sunday afternoon, I just kind of vanished, went to my room, and hid out. Took a long nap, whatever. Just stayed focused. It's kind of like being in the locker room before you go out to walk out on a football field. I mean, you're in that You're trying to get that mental zone going. You're trying to get focused. That's kind of the way I looked at it. But the Brownwater Bash is a lot of fun. Don't get me wrong. We got people from all over the United States showing up. I mean, we've got from West Coast to East Coast, North to South. I mean, it's everybody shows up, and it's great for people. We had so many YouTube people. So
10.
many YouTube people show up.
10 or 11. I can't remember. One or the other. Waylon stayed out at the Bubble Craps, but he was there and he got to meet people and talk to people. Speaking of different craps, now, Ed, when you were there, you found this unique machine to play that you liked. Was not craps. And you said, Jeff, you got to see this. Come on over. I was never successful at it, but I watched you win.
Yeah, the Craps Wizard.
That's what it is. I couldn't remember what it was. Craps Wizard.
Craps
Yes.
Wizard looks, well, it's Casino Wizard's the name. It looks like a slot machine, but you can catch it right in its mathematical, the mathematical probability, the way it generates numbers. And if you're on, and you make your money on the don't side. I mean, you make money. I'm a don't player almost 100% on that thing. So it was a lot of fun. I mean, you can go in there and
I've not been anywhere else to see if I've not been anywhere else to see if that machine's available other than there. Maybe it's a market only test.
I don't know. I've seen it in Vegas.
Oh, did you? I had not seen it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Wow.
Years ago, I saw one at Strat, but in my mind, it kind of figures out what you're doing, so you got to try to confuse it. You know, you got to play with the computer a little bit because it knows you're sitting there on the don'ts all of a sudden. I think it does, and so then you got to do a field bet and an ace deuce or an all sevens and an ace, and a world bet, or you got to throw in a horn. You got to throw these other things in, and it doesn't know what to throw out there because you're going to win. You're going to win. So, I like to fool with it a little bit, but.
Well, I think Dustin's just trying to be comical there.
I am a water boy. That's really all I am.
Yeah,
I'm an OG.
He didn't win on it
boy.
either. Whoever T was, didn't win on it. Let's talk about this right here. Let me get this one down. Lee says they should simulcast a private table since I'm sure spectators are frowned upon.
Right above us on that circle bar, we had like 30 people standing up there watching the game over our shoulders.
Yep, and I think they stayed
several hours.
Several hours. And I know when we first started, I can't remember. I'm pretty sure. I think Sarge was the first to start us off. I can't remember if he was. And you would be like third or fourth would get the dice, and I was like sixth. But to simulcast that. You address that with the host, and it's kind of different because each state is different about whether you can record and what you can show. And we kind of didn't ask that specific question, but I mean, if we had access to a good internet connection and we're allowed to just show that without showing anybody else in the casino's faces, it's worth an ask. But that's just too much to ask for. I mean, production-wise, that could be done, but. It's a lot to it because of the legalities, I guess. Network. From place to place. I want to back up a second here. Going back, talk about the systems. Tony says everybody has a system, plan, go, to, method, whatever you want to call it. And I think when you think about what he's talking about there, I guess I read that wrong. Is that if you don't have a plan going in. And you're just going to have fun with a bunch of guys or a group or even girls for that matter, and you don't have a plan, you're probably out to lose more than you win. You can have, even the mindset is there, but this game is fickle at times, and it's aggravating.
It'll wear you out. It'll beat you up, spit you out.
Yep. Mr. Yo said he has pictures of last year. I know I'm skipping around here because the chats are a little behind it. He said, I was a spectator last year at the Brownwater Bash, and I learned a lot just from watching. And then he said he's got pictures. EF says that Craps Wizard Machine will take your money. I actually saw Ed win more times than I think that he didn't even he didn't lose, to my knowledge. I don't know that that's the case. I spectated at the bar, but yet Mr. Yo was the loud one. Yeah, oh, Mr. Yo, he was a loud one. We have one person with us. We won't mention his name. He goes by the initials G, and he had a group from Atlanta there that were cheering us all on. But we had a good time there. Brownwater Bash. Be there next year. Want to hit 100. All right, look, guys, we're looking for questions. If you got a questions for Ed or me, please premise it with a capital Q. We'd be glad to get to it. This session has no format. We have no structure. We're just going to go until we don't feel like talking anymore. And as long as you guys are keeping us alive in the chat, we'll be glad to stay here. And if you want to join us, I've already put it in there. I think let me back up, see if I can catch it one more time. Where did I put that? I've got it here somewhere. Just send me an email at jeff@midatlanticcraps.com, and you too can get on the show. No software to download. We'll just keep you on here momentarily. You can say hello. You can ask us questions. You can give us a little story, whatever you want to do, and then we'll move on. Beyond the Passline. Let's see. I wonder if a community chip could make it a pay-per-view donations to watch. I wonder if a community could chip in. Oh, community could chip in to make it a pay-per-view donation to watch. Well, the whole thing is you got to get the casino to allow us, and that's the whole thing. Matt, that's the whole problem. So let's see here. Here's a question: is there? Oops, hold on a second. I clicked the wrong one there. Give me a second. I have a question, and it's not coming up on my side. Why is it not showing on my side? I get to meet Ed in October at Red Rock. Oh, it looks like he's going to meet you this year. That's what he's saying. My computer's one. What is going on here? It was one behind it. Tony says he's going to meet you in October, and I would say that's a good thing. But I'm going to leave it at that. Let's go on to the question. But these things are popping in here now. Did this pop up there? Is there a Dice Band Casino Black Book? Ed, do you know? Oh, Ed, I don't have any audio on you. They say you're talking. I don't have any audio. It's the same thing that happened about this time in the show last time. See what you can do with the audio. So, thanks, guys. Didn't even notice that. I'm too busy trying to queue up these chats, and I don't know that. We got a couple questions too. We'll let Ed fix the audio. Last time this happened about the same time in the show we had that. So real quick, I'll let you know that I'm going to be in Atlantic City this week. I'll be with the Atlantic City crew, probably playing at mostly Caesars Properties, Golden Nugget, Oceans, and possibly Resorts. But you'll find us around there. Atlantic City group.
Can you hear me now?
I got you now. The Atlantic City group does have quite a few people, and on a week like this, towards the middle of the week, we will probably take over the entire table. We'll come up and say hello to us. I'm not having anything with me. I may have a couple chips with me, but I'm going because I am part of the Atlantic City group. They are not part of me. I mean, they invited me in. A lot of people think that it's MidAtlantic Craps group. It's not. It's the Atlantic City group. As a matter of fact, Sweet Lou sent me a picture earlier of some nice
sweet
hats
right there, dude.
Yeah, it is. I could probably put it up here if I didn't even think to cue it up here. Anyway, we got your audio back yet. I think, let's see why I go back to that question. The Dice Band book. Boy, say that a couple times. Do you know?
Yeah, the Dice Band book. First of all, yeah, I talked to Tony last week. I'm looking forward to meeting Tony. I've never met Tony in person. We're going to try to meet in October when I'm there in Vegas. Catch a little run somewhere maybe, or at least coffee. I don't know. We'll see what happens. The Dice Band book, the only one that I'm aware of, they call it the Black Book, is the Nevada Gaming Commission has a lifelong banned book of people, and those are described it's really based on cheats, people who are no longer allowed to play in casinos in the state of Nevada for cheating.
I imagine they probably
for example,
share that.
There was some infamous people that were really good that were fooling with the slot machines years ago. So back when you still had the coin depositors, they had come up with a way to do a little magic trick with a couple of wires, and they could trick that thing into just getting it to dump the basket without ever even having to make a spin. Well, casinos kind of got onto that, and they got into this infrared or light thing, and then those guys figured out how to get a little diode up in there and hook it up to a 9-volt battery, and it would flash a light, and it would fake it, and that thing would just start dumping money. So they were then at that time they were able to cheat it. Those people, for example, would be on that black book.
Right. I'm sure they share that with people. I know Lee says here that and he doubts that Mississippi is touchy about cameras. At least they were in Vicksburg a couple years back. Well, Ed
They're
actually
very
asked.
touchy.
Yeah, Ed actually asked the host, and it was almost immediately negative. And then she gave us a couple of reasons why we kind of moved on. Here's a question. I'm seeing more and more chairs around live tables. Have you noticed this growing trend? I have noticed that, and I know that there are people with mobility problems. I've got a couple of friends that are that way, and even nowadays my issue that I have, and I've been sitting in a chair from time to time, but I have noticed it. We ran into a problem in Gulfport 2 years ago where they wouldn't allow the chair because they said it was setting in the fire exit. But Ed, what's your opinion on the chairs?
Beau Rivage has a lot of stools, pre-built, ready-made, because they want all of those old rich folks to come in and sit down and lose money at the craps table. So there's a lot there. You don't see them very often. You don't see any in the Hard Rock, for example. But I have seen people pull up a chair from maybe a blackjack table, that kind of thing. And it's basically because they got a mobility issue or some kind of disability that they don't need to be standing all the time. I see people in their own little rolling chairs sitting down and standing up to shoot and then sitting down to bet. I don't have a problem with either one. Doesn't bother me a bit. If in fact, it's probably better if they're sitting down, as far as I'm concerned, because then they're not really got their hands in the way.
Bill says the IP has stools.
Yeah, the IP does. The IP does have some stools too. Yep.
Yeah.
I've seen a few.
I'll address this again.
Sometimes I'll use sometimes if I get on one of them 4 or 5 hour sessions, I love a good chair.
I'll answer this question. No details in Discord. I've strayed away from Discord, specifically on my channel, but we'll be in and around mostly the Caesars property, but we're gonna go off to a couple other properties. I don't know what to tell you. You have my number. If you don't, email me, Jeff at MidAtlanticCraps.com, and we'll let you know. I'm looking forward to seeing some of my good friends that I haven't been able to play with in the last year, and looking to make a good time out of it.
I totally deleted my Discord app.
Yeah, I'm not using it that much anymore, so I don't know what to tell you. Here's a question for you, Ed. Causes of double pitching.
Double pitches are caused generally by having more skin on one die than the other, or a little more pressure on one die than the other.
Okay.
So your grip is a little bit uneven, if that makes sense.
It does make sense. So to notice it and to correct it on the fly,
or take advantage of it, of it.
That's where I was going. Yeah.
I mean, if you've got a natural double pitch in your grip, set the all sevens and bet the hard ways, because every double pitch is a hard way. All right. So, but you're gonna get some off axis, so you're gonna get some box numbers. But you've got to, the easiest way is to kind of get a little mirror in front of you and get the sixes on the other side and just practice your grip so that, I got a very short index finger, so I have to really work to get them lined up on dice. And sometimes I don't do a good job and I get double pitches.
Well, it's actually unique to watch you because the way that you set the dice and hold them before you launch from the deck, and your landing zone is pretty much always the same, with the exception of when you do get the occasional chips in your way. It's a unique toss. That's all. I mean, if you haven't seen it, I mean, they can see it on your channel, but to see it live, it is, even watching you on your YouTube channel, the way that you set and hold the dice from that camera, that's exactly how you do it.
That's every time.
Table.
Every time.
Every time. Yeah. And that's hundreds of thousands of throws, I'm sure, throughout the.
It's a lot. I don't know if it's hundreds maybe, or thousands. Yes, maybe 100,000, but I don't know if it gets much more than a couple 300,000 probably.
Yeah,
that's a lot. That's a lot.
Let me go back.
Surprised I don't have calluses. I'm surprised I don't have calluses on those fingers, like a guitar player would making chords.
Right. Yep. They're talking about the chair portion on my side.
Hey, Sweet Lou hit a 5-point fire bet again this week.
I have not heard that story. I called my friend Clay the other day, and he and Lou were talking, and I never did call Lou back, but I talked to Clay for a little while. Interesting. Guy here says, I seen a guy in a power chair start a roll and it's finished it.
you know when that was.
Yeah, I do. I didn't. That's what I get for not reading the whole. That's what I get for not reading the whole chat before I put it up there. Lou has come along from the first time I met him and he played with us. He's come along to be a very consistent, reliable dice thrower when he's in his position. And he's very consistent with everything he does. Doesn't mean that he gets 5-point fire bets all the time, because if he did, I'd be playing with him every day. But yeah, it's unique. Ed, you were fortunate enough to meet Lou. We used to call him 10%, then we took him to 20. Then he became Sweet Lou. I don't know how that happened.
He became Sweet Lou because of the Casino Tears podcast.
Was that right?
Ten named him Sweet Lou. When we were talking about him, he goes, Sweet Lou, and he's talking about some Major League Baseball player.
See, I
you remember
I did
Sweet
not know
Lou?
that.
Yeah,
yes,
that's how all that came about.
Yeah,
and so I call him Sweet Lou. Everybody now has picked it up. So yeah,
Sweet Lou.
I saw Lou. Lou was at the Casino Tears event last November, the very first one, and he hit the 5-point fire bet at Paris when I was on the table with him. My only regret was I didn't bet $10 on the fire bet and just the $5.
Yeah, $5 is not a bad payday.
I'll tell you what, if I'm on a fire bet table with Lou shooting, I'm probably going to bet $10 every time.
Yeah. Well, make it 11, one for the dealer.
I'll guarantee you, I'm going to do $10 fire bet on Lou every time I'm on a fire bet table with Lou for the rest of my life, next 45 years.
There you go, Lou. There's a challenge. There's a challenge. A challenge for Lou. Here's a question on your side. We're dual streaming tonight, by the way, so if you're looking at the chats and you don't see them all, it's because Ed's on his channel over on Roll2Win, and I'm on my channel, MidAtlantic Craps. We don't care. Just give us a thumbs up, either one. Say hello in the chat so we know you're here. Question.
Yeah, it is okay to ask, but I've gotten to where I don't even ask. If I ask, that means I'm thinking about the chips. And he'll move them things 3 inches the other way, and I'll land right on top of them bastards. So, excuse me. So, I got to where I don't even ask. I just try to block the chip. I don't need the chips. I did a thing on video on chips a while back. Just move your landing zone. If you got two, switch to an off-axis set. Throw a little more to the center of the table or drop them in behind them. Do something different. Don't worry about the chips. Chips are not going to change. If you land on them, they're not going to, I say that, but the last time I was in Biloxi, there was a guy, I'm serious. There was a guy, he had a stack of chips, this high. It wasn't very high, but it was as his odds back there. And I'm sitting there, and my first one landed fine, and the other one took a little bounce, and it landed right on top of his chips. And it was a good number sitting on top of those chips. And then all of a sudden, those chips began to just slide and slide and slide. And then they laid out flat, and then the dice rolled off of them. It was the weirdest thing you've ever seen. Of course, then it was a 7. But
go figure, right?
I don't blame the chips. It was almost funny to watch. I mean, I laughed at it because it was like they were stacked. The dice landed on top of them. It would have been a good number. Stick man was ready to call it, and then all of a sudden the dice started leaning, and they just kind of slid on out. Dice rolled off of them into a 7. So it happens.
Well,
That
but
was a
you
weird one,
know,
though.
every hand is going to end. I don't care how well of a dice influencer, I don't want to say controller, because I firmly believe nobody is controlling dice at all. I don't care what they say. The hand is going to end, whether it's on the second roll or the 44th, or in some cases, you guys interviewed the guy with the long roll here this year.
The 107 rolls, yeah.
Yep.
He's
You
on
did.
Casino Tiers. Yeah, we had him. That was a Casino Tiers exclusive. Yeah, and people should have made more money on that roll. A lot of people.
Yeah. Let me go ahead and put this
Can you
back
believe
up here.
there's? He told me he said there were same bettors on that table. They just kept same betting on 107 rolls. How in the world can
Could
you
you same
just
bet?
continue
Yeah.
the same bet?
Should have been a table max long before the halfway mark, ish. Yeah. Wow. Well, I don't know what table max were, but you know what I'm saying. I like this term here.
That's
Dice-
Harrah's in Atlantic City, dude. You ought to know.
Yeah, well, I know.
$5,000.
I know Harrah's, and I don't want to get on my rant on that, so I'll let that go. Dice magicians. That's a good term. There's no such thing. I mean, there might be people that can take the dice and roll them through their hands and you know make them disappear. About the only thing a dice magician is probably good for is to make your money disappear. I probably shouldn't say that. I'm going to get slammed. I think what you say. I read this whole question here, and I'll put this up here. I started to wait 2 rolls after the point is set to place my bet. Stay away from the dreaded PSO. Any thoughts? Have you ever done that before? We all know about the 5 count. We're not here to talk about that. But Ed, 2 rolls. I think I know what you're going to say. I'm not 100% sure.
Sometimes I'll wait 1 roll, but it's very rare. If you're going to bet on somebody, why are you waiting? Right? If it's somebody you want to bet on. Now, again, you've already qualified this shooter for some reason. Why would you wait 2 rolls? But if it's a random, somebody you don't know, it's a good idea to wait at least 1 roll. But then, do you really need to bet on the second roll? If you wait till the 3rd roll to place your bet, you've probably only got, according to probability, 2 rolls to get your money and off. So you got to be ready to hit that off button.
Yep. Well,
And the off button is the most powerful tool on the craps table.
yes. I'm trying to. I don't want to say what I want to say about the off button because then I will get on a rant. But the way
All right,
you
let me
worded
ask you a
that.
question.
Go ahead.
Go ahead.
No, just the way you worded
Go
it.
ahead, and then that it's the most powerful tool on the craps table?
Yeah. An interesting concept. Now go ahead. Ask me the question. I don't know if I have an answer. Make me look like a fool.
Well, let's go back before we go there. I mean, what could be more powerful than having your bets pressed up and turning them off and then a 7 throws? What's more powerful than that on a craps table?
Oh no, I agree with you. No, I see what you're saying, but I never considered that when you said it. It was like ding dong in my head, or a light went off, or I woke up, or something. But it's
Everybody wants to bring you down. Bring me down slows the game down. Just turn your bets off. Turn my bets off. And you're off until you call them on. You can't say. You can say all you want to. Turn my bets off for 1 roll, and they're going to turn around and say you're off till you turn them on. And that's the truth. I mean, you're off until they're on. So why not? I mean, that's your magic button. Now, what I was going to ask you, if you turn your bets off, do you have the option of turning more bets off, all your bets off, or just part of your bets off? And how do the dealers place the off button? Do you know the answer to that question?
Well, I don't know the specific correct answer to the off button, but I have been known, Ed, to turn my bets off and then only the 6 and 8s on. So go ahead and tell me how they differentiate between bets on, bets off when somebody has more than multiple bets that are
All right. So if you watch the different dealers, 10 through 4, if they place that off button, if you're at stick left 1 and they place that off button on the 10, then everything is off from the 10 down to the end of the table. You can say turn my 6, 5, and 4 off, and they will place the off button on the 6, and the 6, 5, and 4 are off, and the 8, 9, and 10 are working. It's where they place the off button in relation to the box numbers down to the end of the table. So on the stick right, it would be 4. Yeah. Straight out.
Yeah. That makes sense. Yeah. That makes sense.
If they put it on the 9, then if they put it on the 9, everything is off but the 10. You can do that.
Go in to the off and double down and place hop red bets if it hits. I mean, when it works, it works. I mean, it does. That's like many people have hopping systems, and I think there's several that are out there, including Tony's. Well,
here's what you need to do. If you're going to turn your bets off from a superstition standpoint, I'm just going to call it from whatever superstition you may have that wants you to turn your bets off. Place a high, low, ace, deuce, and a field bet, and turn your bets off.
When I turn my bets off, it's typically not from a superstitious standpoint. I may have noticed something from somebody that I had reliability in their toss that they've changed. They may be throwing a different set. They may be releasing it different, and I want to watch a couple. Especially if I've got my bets pressed up quite a bit. I have two choices: turn them off, let me watch this guy, or bring me down to a lower level and then go back up. Regress back down.
Yeah. So it's like if you're playing with some friends, and you should always notify each other. If you're the shooter and something's bothered you to the point you want to turn your bets off, you need to let your friends know. Give them a throat slash. Say like, I'm off. Just turn around and look at them. I'm off.
Right.
Turn my bets off, dealer. And that you need to let your buddies know. Nobody's joined us tonight, Jeff.
Well, I just had a guy on my side. I've got a guy that's asked. That's why I put that up there. Send me an email at jeff@MidAtlanticCraps.com. I do have to verify who you are before you come on to the show. We don't want any freaky stuff to come on, and you've definitely got to make sure that you're a craps player and an enthusiast that wants to be here for the right reason to make the show.
But I like freaky stuff.
Well, back in the days when I used to host the Craps Chat, which
I remember those. I remember that.
The next season comes out in a Craps for the Cure, and I did say we were going to talk about that coming up sometime during the show. Maybe this will segue into it. That we had some people that came on and did some really nasty stuff where I have to go back and edit that out because they got a couple videos in there, and the technology when we're doing this type of show isn't the same. There's no delay like there is in television or sports radio. There's a delay button in there that there's a producer who's got his finger on it when somebody says something stupid.
No, I got you. I remember when that stuff would.
Yeah.
Somebody wants to know if I always used to wear a black cowboy hat.
I see.
Nathan.
Let me let this one fall down and put that one up there. Nathan.
I started out with a gray one.
Yeah.
I started out with a gray one that my dad gave me actually.
Well, I think the one I first met you, Ed.
A couple of black ones up there.
Yeah, when I first met you, you were wearing a hat, and I believe you told me that your dad had given you that hat, because you can spot yourself in it. If Ed's not wearing his hat, he's kind of hard to spot in this casino.
Sometimes I don't wear a hat in a casino just to try to be a little bit incognito, but I wear it. I still wear it some. I got a summer hat and I got a summer black hat, a winter hat. So I got a summer black hat, cowboy hat, and I got a winter one. So.
All right. Got somebody sending me.
Lee likes this one. This is the Casino Tears hat.
Yeah,
it's got the Craps critter. It's got the Craps critter on it.
And And speaking of critters, I mean, I know it's not even into summer yet. We got Labor Day just a week away from us. Because if you're watching this in the future, yeah, I know. If you're watching in the future, today, what is today? It's the 24th of August, 2025. So if you're watching in the future, you can see how long it was. Craps season was something that came out with casino tiers with the license and all.
Yeah. It came out during the podcast, not thought of, just something that came out of my head. All of a sudden, boom, and then we were like, we should have a license. And then I think 10 Ton jumped on it with that. I mean, it was like just something that came out funny, and we said, let's do it. Let's start the crap season. So yeah, it was all unplanned stuff that just comes out of weird guys' heads.
But the merchandise that is spawned out of your podcast show. I mean, 1010 comes up with some really good ideas. Not just dice, but there's some other things that I mean, this thing hanging on my wall back here is Casino Tiers grab bag, if you will, with the strings cut off and thumbnail to the wall.
It does a lot of stuff.
And the dice, in case they want to get the dice, they can always go to the website, and it's casino grade dice. I always forget who holds that Midwest. It's Hux. What's the
John Huxley John Huxley bought out Midwest Gaming. They make casino grade dice, or they make casino dice for a lot of casinos in North America. And we were fortunate enough to be able to get them to make dice for us, because we did a pretty big order. In fact, we've done 3 orders since we started. So, and there's a collectible one or two in there. We had the one that came out last March during for St. Patrick's kind of a thing,
right,
where instead of an ace on it, it had the clover leaf, but it's still a perfectly balanced casino grade dice, even with that clover leaf on it, versus just a single pip.
All right. We've got a gentleman in the green room now. He's kind of a little hard to see on his lighting, but he looks like he's a real guy. He's turning on his lights now, I believe. And I sent him a question to ask you. If you take a look at the chat there in that app there, you can see that. Not in the email, in the actual app you logged in. So I'm gonna go ahead and bring this guy. We're gonna take a chance of this guy. Looks like he's a CPA from, is it Florida? He's a CPA from Florida. Where hopefully he's a craps player.
No.
And let's bring him on. Everybody, how about a warm welcome for our person of the night? Here's Jonathan. John, good evening.
Hey.
Hello,
guys,
Jonathan.
how we doing?
Good to see
hear
you,
me?
John. Yeah, Jonathan. Thanks for jumping in on us. Appreciate it.
Yeah, thanks. Thanks for having me. Big fan. I actually started playing about 1.5 years ago. So I'm a CPA by day, and then craps player during lunch break and by night too. Started watching your channel, Ed. Got some good information. Consumed too many hours that I like to admit of craps YouTube before I started playing. And I love the game. I used to be a blackjack player. Get rinsed on the blackjack table too often, and there's nothing better than somebody, getting on a hot roll and pressing your bets and having a good time.
So, do you play at the Seminoles there at the Hard Rock in Tampa?
I play at the Hard Rock in Fort Lauderdale, Hollywood. And
Fort Lauderdale. I'm sorry, Fort Lauderdale. Okay.
Yeah. They it's really the only show in town. They make you pay the pre-roll vig on 4 and 10. So I'm pretty much just a 66 or 110 inside kind of guy, and
nothing wrong with that.
Yeah. So like to think I have a 3-1 favorite, in terms of dice combinations, but just went there earlier today, and within 3 minutes there were 3 PSOs.
That does happen.
It does happen.
Yeah, it does.
It does happen.
It can. So, how long have you been playing again?
Probably 1.5 to 2 years. Was kind of tired of blackjack. Wanted to learn how to play craps, so I watched, like all the YouTube channels, Color Up.
That's typical where people start.
That type of thing. really, I'm a numbers guy, so I like the strategy, and I think it's the only game where you can kind of use house money once you're up to really like generate some
What you
wins.
get,
And
that's what you got to do. So, as a numbers guy, what's your favorite strategy?
I like the inside. You know, basically you have 18 out of 36 dice combinations. Try to get a couple presses before then I go to the 4 and 10. When I roll, so I do a 5, 4, 3, 1 set to try to get an inside number, but I find I get a lot of 4s and 10s. So lately, I have been putting $5 on the hard 4 and hard 10 just to get a little something.
So your toss is evolving, probably. Do you have a practice rig or a practice table at home or anything like that?
I don't, I've watched some of like your videos on the grip, and I used to play basketball, so I kind of try to translate it into like a jump shot.
Yeah. Yep.
Try to just hit the same landing spot and, hope for the best. And probably the best happens 17% of the time.
Yeah. All right. We definitely got a math guy. We got a CPA. He loves the inside numbers. He's got a good edge on the inside, except he's probably now using the wrong dice set.
Probably. Yeah.
Probably.
I mean,
for his bets, right? So he's either got to figure out a new dice set, or he's just going to have to go across and, come on, give me some juice, Jesus, and then digress or regress. So you're like 110. Is it? Are all the tables down there at Fort Lauderdale where you are $25 tables, or do they go 15s?
So the Hard Rock has they will have $15 tables, and then on the weekends, like Saturday and Sunday morning, they figure why can't we just scoop as much money as possible? So it's always like $25 tables, on the weekends. And then there's a hotel or there's a casino across the street that is the Hard Rock's training facility that sometimes they'll have $5 tables. The only drawback with that is they're training craps dealers, and I don't think I need to say anything more about that. It does slow the game down, and it is a little frustrating at times. But mainly 15, and so if it's 15, I'll go 66 inside. But if it's 25, I'll go 110 to start.
Very nice. Very nice.
Very nice. Yep.
What do you enjoy? You enjoy the camaraderie or just the rowdiness of the craps table versus blackjack? Because blackjack players are kind of like always just, there's not a lot of high-fiving going on. I hear it in Biloxi when somebody hits one of those side bets. But primarily, blackjack is you're just kind of a monogamous kind of a game. You're just kind of sitting there just blah, 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 blah. You're up, down.
Yeah,
so
it's the camaraderie for sure.
It's a different game, right? Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, you could have a good shoe in blackjack, and the other day I was playing and started off with the $25, $50 bet, was going, won a few in a row, added a $25 chip each time, and you get on a run, but then, you got a $200, split, and then you got to double down, and then all that hard
That'll
work.
get you every time. That's where that gets you, man. I hate that. I mean, all of a sudden, you got all these double downs and splits that you got to keep doing. I mean, and all of a sudden you're playing like 5 hands, right? And that's what it.
Yeah.
Oh, it really hurts. Yeah. And the
Yeah,
dealer
that's
draws
why
21.
That's why I like craps, because you can just keep going. There have been times where when I was starting out, I would regress back to table minimum after 15, 20 rolls, and again, you look at it, it's like, had I not regressed, what would those bets be at? But the camaraderie, and then just when you get that one good roll, that's what keeps you coming back. It's like golf. You get one good golf swing, after losing 17 balls and drinking 17 beers, you just want to get back.
There is nothing wrong with a regression. Now, a regression 15 or 20 rolls in is not in my vocabulary. But there's nothing wrong
What's
with
in
it.
your
I just can't get
vocabulary?
it.
How many rolls would you say?
You want the honest truth?
Yeah, for sure.
There's very seldom will I ever regress because I take money on most of my hits and do a partial press, and there's almost no regression ever. So there's a few power presses and with no regression or no take back, but I mean, if I can get the house max on a number, I'm ready. Let's go.
How often
Then
that
you get that if you
hasn't
get
happened
that
to me
hit.
yet.
Well, it doesn't happen to anybody very often if you're starting out at bottom numbers like us. But if you can get there, dude. Now, if I get that $5,000 hit on any number, then it's the perfect regression. That's the perfect
Makes
regression.
sense.
Regress it down to 2,500, and if it hits again, who cares, right?
Win's a win.
Win's a win. I mean, but you know, there are some things. I mean, like if you've got a $420 6 or 8 that you've pressed up, and it hits, and you get that hit, you know, there's the smartest move ever right there is to regress to 180. From a $420 6, you can regress to 180. You've pulled in money off the hit. You've pulled in money off the regression. And if it hits, you same bet it, and you put more money in your rack than if it had hit at 420.
It's like $1,000
I mean,
right there.
Yeah, I mean that's the smartest regression ever right there. 420 down to 180.
Yeah.
Perfect. Nothing wrong with that at all. Now that I have done. But that's a lot of 6s or 8s to get there when you're starting down at a lower tier number. Right? So you've got to it's a good time to do it as far as I'm concerned.
Yeah.
And then if it hits, just keep. Then if it hits, I don't care. Just keep blowing it up. I'll go as high as I can go with my normal press schedule.
Typically, I'll go $18 on the 6 if it's a $15 table, then go to 30, then 42, then 60, and then I'll collect one and then decide if I want to go to either 120 or 90. But trying to rake in the profit. To just have another bullet for the next shooter.
My 6 or 8 schedule's a little bit different, and there's nothing wrong with what you did. There's a lot of people that do that kind of thing. But I do like putting some money back in my rack early, so I'll press 1 unit. 6 or 8 hits, I'll say go up 1 unit. So I go from 18 up 6 to 24. When that hits, I go straight to 42. And then I collect 50 for 1. After I've done that, they can throw as many of that number as they want, or I can throw as many of that number as I possibly can. I'm going to go 42 to 90. I'm going to collect the 105. From 90, I'm going to go to 180. I'm going to collect the 210. From 210, I'm going to collect that. I got 180. I'm going to drop $30, and I'm going to 420 right there. So there's a power press. There's 2 power presses in that whole, or 1 power press at that point right there. The other idea is to go from 18, drop $3, and go to 42, but you're not putting any money in the rack. But it's not a bad move, and I will do that on the sister number if the sister number hits. So like the 8, let's just say the 8 hits first. I like to collect, press 1 unit. That gives me some money back in the rack. But then the 6 hits, I'll drop them $3 and say, take me to 42. And I want to see which one of those 2 numbers will win, just like in a racehorse. It's like a racetrack. I want them to race each other to $5,000. I want to see which one will get there first. Doesn't even happen, but that's my mentality. I want to see them go. Once I collect 50 for 1. Those numbers are totally paid for, and I can just do whatever I want, and I'm going to build in a collection along the way. I like collecting that first black chip. I like collecting that first purple chip.
Yeah.
I like collecting that first $1,000 chip. When I get to 900 and collect 1,050, and from there, I'm going straight to 5. I'm going just as quick as I can get there. I'm going to go up. That's just me.
Now, how do you
It's money I didn't bring.
Right. How do you guys adjust when you guys are the shooters and you are hitting numbers? As the point changes, how do you adjust your pass line bet and odds? So I guess my question is say you have $250 on the 10. The point is 8. You make your point. The next point is a 10. You take that 250 down probably, or you maybe move it to the 8. But what are you betting on? Are you increasing your pass line bet to increase your odds on the 10? What's the strategy there?
All right, so you're playing a little different game than I play in Mississippi, and Jeff's playing the same game you play. You probably got the same rules. And the answer to Jen is absolutely yes, because that's the only way I won't get my money back. If I got a $250 10 and I just made the point of 8, I'm going to hop the 10s on the come out. Could be $10, right? $5 each. I don't want to waste a throw. You don't want to waste a toss on a number that's been hot. If I got a $250 10, and I know if you've got a $250 10, there's been a lot of 10s hit. So don't waste the toss. Hop the 10s. That way you made money on the come out. Leave the 250 on the 10, put a minimum odds back behind it. Place your 8 accordingly to how many times it's been hit. If you've had a lot of 8s hit, go ahead and place it for $90 so that if it hits again, at least you can collect 105.
Mm-hmm.
That's what I do. I mean, I'm looking for maximum gain on every roll that I can get. So I got a hot number. The hot number's 10. I'm going to hop it. And then I'm going to leave the 10 up as a place bet. And then I've got it as odds on my pass line. Now, where I play, I got 10 times odds minimum, right?
Mm-hmm.
On any number. Some places, I got 100 times odds. And in Biloxi, there's one casino that does 20 times odds. In Tunica, there's one casino that does 100 times odds. So you can play those games a little differently. You can play a $10 pass line. If you got a $10 game, you can put $1,000 odds on it, right? But I like max odds on most numbers for 2 or 3 tosses, and then I regress my odds. If that makes sense.
Yeah.
Where I'm at, it's like $15, 10 times odds. Let's go 150. Let's go 150 odds in Biloxi. If I hadn't hit that point, whatever that point is, 6, 8, or 9, 10, whatever it is, in 2 or 3, I'm going to start pulling chunks of 50 off until I leave it at $50 odds. So I'm going to pull basically $100 off after the 3rd roll. The 4th roll, I'm down to $50 odds on that bet. That's the way I play it. So I figure if I can't hit it that quick enough, then I don't want to leave that exposure out there. But if it still hits, I still make some good money.
Yeah. I only play the pass line when I'm shooting. And, the good rolls that I've had where, I'm hitting numbers, I'm hitting points, it's almost like I forget to increase my pass line bet. So I might end up with
that is a problem. I mean, we all get into that. I can remember one time I just kept hitting point after point after point after point, and I couldn't make any serious money because I couldn't. I got to place the numbers, right? But you forget. I mean, you're all in this. You get all in the game, and you're thinking about shooting, and you forget you could just go ahead and raise that pass line up, right? That's one thing that we forget we can do. You can also, just like this guy right here said, in Biloxi for sure, they'll let you increase your pass line bet because it's a contract bet. You can't take it down just to increase your odds. And right. I've done that in Vegas too. But a lot of players that have played a long time will run a progression on their numbers and leave those numbers up all the way through the hand or session and let the odds be a different game behind it. So if you've got a $420 6, they're going to leave it up there even if the point becomes 6, right? That's why I like to hop it. I'm going to hop the hot number, even if $5 a piece, whatever it is. Just hop it so you don't waste that roll. I've seen a guy one time, Jonathan, he had a $5,000 4. The point was 5. He made the point of 5 and did not hop the 4. And then he set the point of 4. And that was the last 4 thrown. Right? So that tells you enough right there. You got to hop the hot number.
Yeah, that's a good point, because there's, the come out rule, if you have place bets, I mean, it's somewhat of a wasted roll, right? Unless you're on. But then you're risking.
Yep. That's why you got to hop that hot number.
That makes sense.
If you're deep into it, hop the hot number.
Mm-hmm.
In fact, I got into a game with 10-ton at the Palms, and we talked about it extensively, but the 6 was his 6 was his hot number. He set the point, or he hit the point, and I hopped the 6s for $50. He threw a 4-2. Well, I left the hops up. I had a $420 6 sitting out there as a place bet. He hit the 6. He threw another 4-2. So my hops won, my place bet won. Then we're coming out again. I pressed, and yeah, this is like an unusual thing, but I pressed my hop bets. I pressed my hop bets to $50. He threw 4-2.
$50 each?
Yes.
That's awesome.
And so then he threw the 4-2, set the point at 6. I'm still sitting there with a $420 6. He threw a 5-1. Right? Hit my point, and I still got my hop score. I threw them $75 out. I pressed the hops again.
It's like a repeater in roulette.
I got $75. I got $75 on each hop number on the 6s, and he threw another 4-2. It's like magic when that kind of stuff happens. But if you don't take advantage of it, it's just a wasted roll. So I was just like maximizing every roll, just kept pressing the hops up. Then he did not throw a 6. My hops came down, but I'm still sitting there with that stupid $420 6. Then he throws a 6 on the second toss after that. So, but it killed the hops. But that was a great progression where all that stuff was just happening. Boom, 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 boom. And nobody presses their hot bets. But all of a sudden, I was in a situation where this is the hottest number out there. Just press it, press it, press it. Yeah. And it worked.
Would you bet the hopping hard 6 and 8 as well for half of the amount?
Absolutely.
Of the piece? Yeah.
Yeah.
Makes sense.
I want them all. Yeah.
Cool. How is the game any different in Mississippi besides the odds? Is there any other different intricacies?
Auto buy.
The auto buy on the 4, 5, 9, and 10 is the big difference.
Yeah, when they came out,
you pay the VIG on the win on the 4, 5, 9, and 10 at almost every casino.
Oh, nice. Okay. Yeah, when they came out with craps here, 2 years ago, it was an auto buy. But then I think they realized that they have a monopoly down here, and they can collect $1 for every 20, and scoop up a few extra thousand a day.
Yeah,
that's the premise behind it.
Yeah,
that is the premise.
I hate having to pay the VIG up front, but some places you don't have a choice.
All right.
Some of the places in Mississippi will give you auto buy on crapless on all the extreme numbers, and some want a VIG up front.
Mm-hmm.
Depends on where you're playing, where you like to play, how I'd rather play on a table I can win at and play the VIG up front than a table I don't win at very often and have to pay the VIG pay the VIG on the win. So you got to pick your poison on that deal.
Right.
Well, Jonathan, we appreciate you coming on. I have one question. Have you only played in Florida, or have you played elsewhere?
I've only played in Florida. I'm actually going on Thursday on a bachelor party to the Bourbon Trail in Louisville. So I think we're hitting up Caesars in Indiana. So we're probably going to play
Sweet.
there.
Sweet.
Yep, right across the river. Yep, right across the river there. You'll find it.
Nice. Well, good luck to you on that trip. I'm actually.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for jumping in here, being the brave person to come in here with us tonight.
As you can see,
Jeff and I appreciate it. Jeff and I appreciate it, and I'm sure our people watching do too. So we thank you, Jonathan. Thank you very much.
Yeah, thanks.
Yep.
I need more friends that play craps, and like I said,
Kind of Biloxi, dude. Kind of Biloxi. Kind of
big
Biloxi.
fan of the channel, and I see Jeff and I go to the same barber and get the same hairstyle. So thanks for having me, guys.
No, Jonathan, thanks for coming on.
I still got some of my hair.
And I will premise this by: it's easy to get on the show, is it not?
Oh, very, very easy. Thanks for the warm welcome, and apologies if I, interrupted or anything.
No, you didn't interrupt anything.
Man, you just what the show's for.
Yep.
Right.
Yep. Come back and join us. Come back and join us.
Will do. I'll let you know how Indiana goes.
Well, I mean,
Good luck. Long hands and hard ways, man. Long
Yep.
hands and hard ways.
Great.
Yep.
Sounds good. Thanks, guys.
all right.
Appreciate you.
Yep. All right, Jonathan, take care, and we'll talk to you soon. That was a really good interview. Now I know what
Wasn't that
10 ton. It was. I was talking with 10 ton, as you know, a couple Fridays ago, and he just talked about how the two of you clicked on your podcast, and that you're just a superb interviewer, and it shined. And maybe you're in the wrong business. Maybe you need to get out of that financial side of it and get. I think you better keep your day job. Not that you don't do a good job.
If I could get out of my day job and do this kind of stuff all day, every day, I'd do it, dude.
Lee, he's actually from Florida, and he played in. Where did he say he played at?
I think he said around Fort Lauderdale, which is the area that Howard Rock and Roller was from. Yes.
Yep. That's true. I got a question for you, Ed. We did say we were going to mention something about the Craps for the Cure. I got a text from John. Yeah, I know that I don't want to put you on the spot. I don't want to get you emotional, because one of the things they're doing this year for the Craps for the Cure, obviously, is one of the dogs got named after your son that passed away last year. And if it's okay, he wants to come on and talk just a little bit briefly. Is that okay with you, or do you want to say that for another show?
Bring him on.
All right, John Key's coming to you, John. It's coming to the email you sent me for the link for tonight's show, for tonight's conference call, John. Use that email and come on to the show. I'll see you when you come in the door. For those of you that noticed that we were lagging a little bit during that fantastic interview with Jonathan from Ed, I don't know what the problem was. I'm pushing a gig out. My software was only running 34% max. I watched the YouTube, Ed's channel, my channel, and there was no rhyme or reason. There was some lag on one channel, some lag on the other channel. So we apologize. I have no idea what it is. What the hell? We're gonna blame it on YouTube. And Jonathan, you most certainly are welcome. Come back and see us another time.
We appreciate him being the brave person to jump in.
So while you were doing the interview, we actually had this question from Lazy Dog for everyone: why craps, only craps, when craps, and how much craps? If you guys want to start posting that in the chat, maybe we get time after we get another person with the Jonathan and Jeff haircut coming on here. We'll bring him on. He's smiling when I said that, John. I just have to click. I just have to click one button and get you into the show here. But we did say we were going to talk about the Craps for the Cure, and there's nobody other than, wow, I'll spit this out here sooner or later, than this young fella right here, who is definitely younger than me and younger than Ed. It is, hold it, John, I got to add your audio. It is Pro Craps. It's John Kokas from Pro Craps Casino Gaming TV.
I do need one of those hats. That's right. We actually got custom hats. We got daddy hats made this year for the event.
Yeah.
We don't have a lot of. I don't have a lot of volume on his end.
Yeah, I was going to say it. I'm gonna pump it up. But go ahead, John. Keep talking, and I'm going to pump it up on my end.
Yeah, I'm on a computer, my laptop in a hotel room in California right now, so I don't have a great setup here.
Yeah. Well, that's all right. We'll give you a few minutes here. I've got you pumped up on my side, and we'll see what happens. Hopefully, he can hear you.
That's a little better.
A little, not much, but I pumped you up. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, I have no controls on my side, obviously. So
I got that. Yeah. No, I totally understand.
Cool.
So, John, welcome. Obviously, we got the Craps for the Cure coming up. We had a conference call tonight with most of the people that are helping you out there. It's last. I like the way you labeled it, last conference call, and you're getting ready. It's just a few weeks away.
Yeah.
Tell us all about it.
It's crazy. It's like 3 weeks away. I can't. Talk about something sneaking up on you. It's snuck right up on me. But yeah, it's going to be my birthday weekend. Not that that's what it's about, but we just picked it because I knew there was nothing happening in Vegas this year. I've made a mistake with this thing the last couple of years, where 2 years ago we did it on F1 weekend, which was probably dumb. Last year we did it on a NASCAR weekend, which was just as dumb. So this year I scouted the calendar out and I thought, hey, there's nothing going on my birthday. Let's just do it there. That way my wife will come and it'll be a nice, easy thing. And it turns out that Vegas is I'm not doing so great. So the rooms are available, they're cheap. It's going to be actually making it a lot easier for us to do it. But the event called Craps for the Cure, and their website, crapsforthecure.com, is we basically, we for the first couple of years, we sort of raised money every year. Jerry Lewis started 24-hour straight live streams, like 2 years in a row. We did the first year we did it for Gamblers Anonymous. The second year we did it for cancer. We had one of our friends in the Craps community had cancer. And then we hooked up with Veterans Moving Forward. And they're an outfit that their sole mission is to raise dogs and train them up to be service dogs for veterans that have PTSD. That's all they do. And it's a little org. It's like 6 or 7 people. And so the one thing I love about this versus like the Cancer Society or some of these other big charities, that you know that everything is going right into the dogs. So we raised enough money 2 years in a row to purchase a couple of animals. First year when you raise $25,000, you can buy a dog. They buy it with our money, and you can name it. So the first year we named it after our good friend Chiro Mucci, who passed away a couple years ago. But we raised enough money. We got the dog named after him. Last year, unfortunately, and Ed can tell the story, but Ed lost his son tragically last year, and it was I pushed really hard because it's not easy to get a dog named. Like there's a whole the whole process, all the paperwork and the bio and all the records and stuff to get it done. But they did it, and we have a dog who's now in training. His name is Pearson, and I just got a video, and I should share this video. That dog is good. I'm telling you what, Moochie is apparently a nightmare. He's hard to train. Pearson, I got a video today. They took him out to a park, and like a dog park, and he's like 2 or 3 months old. He's sitting on a little blanket, just sitting there, not moving an inch, not blinking his eyes, and there's a million dogs going crazy, and he's just doing his job. He's on task, man. It's a beautiful thing. So this year, what we get the opportunity to do is actually pay for the training. So when you go to the website, and Jeff, click on that link that says "Pay for Training."
Says which one, John?
It's the second one. It says "Pay for Training." We actually got the list from Lori over at Vets Moving Forward, and there's the picture of the dogs of all their needs for 2 years. It takes 2 years to train these dogs. So you'll see it if you scroll down. You'll see things like bags of dog food. You'll see things like the cooling vest and the mats and the poop bags and the vitamins and the dog carriers and all the things that they need. And there's 3 of them for each dog because obviously dogs grow as they need vests and that kind of thing. Getting them spayed and neutered and all that stuff. So everything that the dogs need for training, and I think there's like 77 bags of dog treats, whatever, 9 vests or whatever the number is, it's right here. So every dollar raised, you can just say, I want to buy the cooling bag. And it's $30, and you can buy 1 or 2 of them. And that's how it works this year. So we're actually going to get the dogs pushed through the whole set of training this year. That event's going to be streamed on the Casino Quest channel live on September 13th, Saturday, and 14th, Sunday. We start at 10 o'clock in the morning. We're going to go from 10 to 7 straight through. Ed will be there. We're going to get to play with Ed. We have a really fun segment planned with you, Ed. That's great. And Bo and others to get on. It's going to be a hell of a lot of fun. And really, it's about us being maniacs and having a good time, playing craps, talking craps, just like this show, but 20 hours straight of it, and raising money the whole time. So that's the event. Cannot wait for it to get here. It's going to be really cool this year. A lot less interview, a lot more play, a lot more fun. and that's going to be our theme this year. Is to have fun and raise money for the cause.
Cool.
I'm very proud of what they have accomplished over the last, I want to say, 2 years with this particular charity. Number one, they got Moochie, a little hellion. Somehow they got the dogs reversed because my son should have been the hellion. My son. But I'm going to save all my emotional speeches for when I'm there. But I urge everyone who appreciates being an American and having a veteran who served for this country to go out and consider donating to this particular cause. Pick a collar, pick a flea collar, whatever you want to pick, or just make a donation. They take them in all sizes. We've had one $750 donation, I believe, already.
That's right.
Just a pure donation for the cause, and then that's in addition to whatever anybody else wants to pick up. There's all kind of I don't know if there's raffles or bids or auctions or all these kind of things.
There's just 2 items. Yeah. We're keeping it simple.
You know,
two things.
and you got have you got the layouts from G on there yet? Because I want one of those.
We do.
I've already picked out the one. I've already picked out the one I would get.
I know which one you want. Right, the Mirage.
But
the Mirage Crapless, right?
Yeah, I want that. Remember Mirage Crapless? I could hang.
For sure.
I'd fold it in half and hang it up on the wall over here by the table. But I'd get it mounted. I'd get it put into a nice case. But there's all kind of nice things. But the bottom line is if you're breathing free air, folks. You're breathing air that doesn't cost you anything, and somebody paid that price for you to breathe that air. Whether they passed away or whether they came home. And this is for those who came home. We can't do a whole lot for those that didn't come home. But these guys came home, but they've got problems. And these dogs do an amazing work, and they train them. The training that they can, individualized training. What does this particular vet need? All right, I'm having this kind of nightmare or whatever. The dog knows they're having this nightmare. What can do you want the dog to turn on the lights? Do you want him to pull the covers over you? Do you want him to get on the bed and lick you on the face? I mean, whatever you want, they're going to train that dog to do when you're having those PTSD moments in the middle of your night. They're going to keep you calm during the day. They train these dogs to realize that you're having those moments, or that vet is having those moments. And as a parent of a vet, I can't tell you how much that would be important to that veteran. So,
they're like in-home care.
It's really important that we support those people. And this is a good way for us as a craps community. And it's amazing what this little, we'll say, quote unquote, little community has done over the last 2 or 3 years.
We're a small but pretty powerful group, aren't we? It's amazing when we all come together for this thing every year. And like you said earlier, Brownwater Bash, 70-plus people. We really do show up and show out as a group. I don't know if you noticed that. Maybe you didn't hear the show or not, but we had this year, one of the vets and his dog is going to be there this year. We're going to meet a guy also named Eddie. His name's Eddie, with his dog, and they're going to do some demonstrations about what the dog can do and how he's kind of transformed his life as a result of having that dog in his life. So I think it's super cool. I mean, it's just.
Can you read that?
No.
Oh, hold on a second. I'll zoom on that.
Got to zoom in on Eric.
Yeah, hold on, Ed. I'm going to zoom in on that. I was sending something over to VDT. Sorry.
Oh, yeah. High five a hero. I love it. Talk about that. That's such a cool thing, Ed.
I think I'm going to get these made up. I found this in the drawer the other day. And that's one of the old originals that we used to do. I may get some of those made up and bring them to us. Bring them out there, John. Just hand them out to people to recognize not only veterans, but first responders of all types. Police officers, EMTs. Anytime you see somebody, we're just going to give those away if I can get these made in time. Go up to a guy, you see somebody, you see them in uniform, give me 5. Give them 5, I got something for you, and slide that on their wrist. Just want to thank you for what you do for my community or for my country. I think that's a great thing. I'm going to get those made up.
Love it.
I think.
I love it. That's really cool, Ed.
It's just something silly that you can do to recognize. I've gone up to veterans that are 85, 90 years old, and they're sitting there wearing, you know, one of their hats from whatever community, and that or whatever war they served in. I just walk up to him and his wife. I'll say, I'm sorry to interrupt your dinner, but I want to thank you for what you did for this country. I'd like to give you a high five, and I hold my hand up. As soon as he does that, I just take one off my wrist and say, I'd like to give you this. Thank you.
Yeah, so cool.
That's sweet. Yeah, that would be really nice.
Just a moment.
Awesome.
Yep. So John, I was doing a lot of the back producing side of it, and I know you started out talking about a lot of things. Could you repeat the dates and the times? I know I showed a schedule. It's on the website, crapsforthecure.com.
It's in a few weeks. We're September 13th and 14th is the actual event. So it'll be 10 o'clock in the morning until about 7 o'clock at night, both days. Instead of going 24 straight hours, we now go 10 to 7, 10 to 7. 2 days in a row, we film. We go live, YouTube live from Casino Quest channel at Casino Quest the entire time. So it'll be a mixture of some interviews. We have a new segment this year. It's called Play With Me, which I'll be the guinea pig on that one. But basically, we'll have probably Joe from Craftmaster Journey, another YouTuber, throwing the dice. We'll have Ed and one of our attendees playing together, explaining how they bet. Maybe Ed can give a little bit of a tip and trick to our guest. And we'll have me and David Gillen. So it'll be kind of a fun little live play simulation type of thing. We'll do that with a bunch of people. We have 4 or 5 people lined up to do that exact thing with us to sort of get their how they're reading the table, and more importantly, just kind of diagnosing some dice throws and just having a good time.
All right. No,
I look forward to that. That's going to be a challenge.
And as far as participation and coming in and how they can get a ticket or whatever, I know you want them to see it. You want to see it ahead of time because there's planning going on, if you will. What I don't know how to say this. What can one expect when they get there? I mean, there's you and the production staff, which is made up of a bunch of YouTubers, and you've got a lot of YouTubers coming in to participate with that.
So it's $100 to come, and the $100 gets you basically a wristband, like Ed showed, but it's a prep to the on it. It gets you in a Casino Quest. We also have a little really cool assortment of stuff, hat and chips and some other collectible things. But really, it's about getting into the back room at Casino Quest. If you've been there, you know what I'm talking about. It's the back room where they film their videos. It'll be me, Craig from MidAtlantic Craps, Ryan from Rock Point, Brian from Holy Roller, Justice Jen, Ian, Ed, Leon from MidAtlantic Craps, Joe from Craftmaster Journey, myself, and a few others may come in and come out as we go to this thing. And it's kind of a just camaraderie. You can sit right on the table with us while we're doing the show. Just lean in, ask questions. It's a fully participating event. It's not like we're just out there with the green caution tape or whatever, so you can't touch us. It's all hands on deck, and everybody's there just hanging out the whole time. There'll be a private table on Friday and Saturday night over at Palace Station that we'll be playing at and filming the whole time. So, and it's a $10 game, no pressure. It's all about dollar ATS for the bets kind of a thing. It's going to be just one of those fun nights. And it's just going to be, like I said, a celebration of the game, a celebration. I hate to say celebration of the bets, but it's like you get a chance to honor them all day for 2 days in a row. And I think Ed always says it the best. He's breathing free air. And these guys were, willing to die for us, right? And like you said, these are the guys that came back. And, if you're of a certain age and you remember how the guys from Nam were treated when they came back, I don't know if that's worse than being completely ignored like some of the guys are now. And I've dealt with the VA on many, many, many levels. None of them good. So this is a crew that's moving forward that really gives a crap about the bets, and they're all in. And that's why
Right.
I've been on with this group for 3 years now. It's my third year with them. I love what they do and what they stand for. I can't break away from wanting to raise more and more and more money for them because it's just such a great. It's like every dollar goes into somebody's house. Like it's not going to pay some CEO's salary. It's going into some poor guy's house. Like that's what we need, right? And I love the fact that it's time. So,
All right. Well, I'm going to go ahead and repeat the dates because John, there a couple people saying there is a problem with your audio. We'll get through it. So it's September 13th and 14th, John's birthday weekend in Las Vegas. It's going to be centered around Casino Quest. And did you mention the Palace thing? You know that?
Yeah. We have a private table scheduled Friday night and Saturday night at Palace Station. If you're going to come to Vegas that weekend, I can get you 25% off at Palace if you're going to want to stay close by.
Cool.
I know a lot of folks are going to be at Caesars, but Palace is giving everybody who's coming to this thing 25% off.
All right. Well, John, hang in there just 1 second. I've got a surprise for Ed, and you, because you've met this gentleman before. I'm just going to ask this gentleman if he'll lean forward into his chair a little bit and get a little closer to the screen. I'm kind of having a hard time seeing you, but here it is, the one and only.
Hey,
it's
there he
Sweet
is.
Lou. Lou, let me
Sweet Lou, baby.
let me see. Let me see if I got his audio on. Lou, are you there?
I'm here. Can you hear me all right?
Yeah, we can hear you. A little bit of echo on somebody's side, but it's okay. Lou, a little glare from your glasses off that, but you were sitting so low I couldn't get you in. I wanted to welcome you to the show. We're heading to the downswing of this show. Ed and I both talked about how long we wanted it to go, but we did mention you earlier in the show, Lou. We talked about you. Ladies and gentlemen, if you've never met Sweet Lou,
Killer.
there he is.
Bet killer, Sweet Lou.
And John, you had an opportunity to play with Lou a couple years ago.
I did.
Yeah. So, Lou, what brings you on the show tonight?
Well, I figured since I hit that 5-point fire bet, everybody would like to hear it.
Well, then you can do it,
Yeah.
but do me a favor and put on one of those nice hats that you showed me and Ed earlier today. I mean, I know you've got the John and Jeff look, but cover it
There
up.
it
It's a
is.
little glare.
Isn't that beautiful?
Yeah.
Isn't that
That's
beautiful?
a great looking hat.
I want one of those. I don't even go to Atlantic City.
Yeah. And John, if you could answer the chat on for Lazy Dog on Ed's side of the video, I'm going to put it up there. Yeah.
Yeah,
I can answer that question for him because my audio is better. The answer to that is yes.
Yes.
When you buy a ticket, that is a donation to veterans moving forward. That's exactly what that is.
That's right.
Even if you don't show up, buying a ticket, that's $100, I think, right, John?
It's
but-
$100. Yep.
Yeah.
$100
you know,
for both.
you can either do that or you can do $100 worth of any of the items that the dogs need for the next 2 years of their training.
Yep.
So yes,
That's right.
the answer is
100%.
it is a donut, and it is a bona fide 529 tax deductible non-profit organization, and you get your write-off for anything that you donate. You will get a receipt in your email as soon as you make the donation.
Yeah, all the things I mentioned, like the chips and the hat and the wristbands and the whatever else you're getting for coming there, I bought all that. That's all me. Like not
Right.
I'm just saying it's not coming from donations. Like the charity's not paying for that at all. That's my gift. Thing. So I'm not.
All right.
100% goes to the dogs. Zero
All right.
that goes there. Yeah.
Sweet. Well, hang in there with us, John.
Let's get Sweet Lou. Hang on, John.
Yeah.
Let's get Sweet Lou to do us about that 5-point fire bet.
Yep.
Right. I started off at the ATS table, and it just wasn't working out because that week happened to be a World Series circuit event for poker. And we had a lot of young kids that didn't know what they were doing with their hands in the way, so they opened up the fire bet table. And then I went over there because I could get my position. They just opened up. And as Ed in 10 Ton said, you always have the leeches that follow people who they know that can shoot pretty good. So 3 of them joined the table. And I started off with a point of a 10, and I hit it immediately And then the set that I was using, the 6563 set, was giving me the inside numbers, and I just kept hitting the inside numbers, and it paid off. The only number I didn't really hit was the 4. The whole time I think I hit 3 4s and 2 of them were hard, but it worked out. It worked out nice. And then being disciplined, as many of you know, I colored up and left. And of
Am I
course,
the only guy here that has hair? Am I the only guy here that has hair?
That's a theme for the night. You didn't get the memo.
and 2 weeks prior, or no, the week prior, Ted Berry, Midnight Express, he hit a 4-point fire bet himself the week before. So the AC group
Very nice
has been doing
for
real
Ted.
well at the tables.
Yep.
Maybe I need to come. Maybe I need to find me a junket up to Atlantic City.
Come on. I'm sure there's
The
one.
majority of us will be there this week. I'll be leaving my house tomorrow morning at about 6:30 to get down to AC myself for the 10 times tier credit event.
Yep, and
Very
I'll
nice.
be in on Tuesday and leaving Thursday night or Friday morning. Not too sure exactly when I'm leaving, but looking forward to seeing you, Lou. It's been a while. I think the last time I saw you was in Mississippi at the Brownwater Bash.
Yes.
Did you
yes.
have a good time at the Brownwater Bash, Lou? Talk to us
Oh,
about the
I
Brownwater
enjoy
Bash.
it.
'Cause
You can't put a price tag on the camaraderie of the craps community. They're there for you on your ups, and they're there for you on your downs, from even on a personal level. I can't thank the group enough that what they've done for me in the past. They're really a good bunch of guys and gals. I have to say gals because Jen's been there on a personal level for me.
Jen is everywhere. We talked about that on the show 2 weeks ago. Wherever there's a YouTuber or a meetup, she's there.
she is. She's always there.
Yep.
And we're talking to Lou. We're talking to a guy, Lou, who like last year witnessed an accident, checked on the people who were in the accident, and then chased down the person that caused the accident, basically put them in handcuffs waiting on the Mississippi State Police to show up so they could have put them in jail. I mean, Lou is the guy, dude. I mean, Lou chased these people down, pulled them down, the woman's trying to get away, and Lou, being an out-of-state retired policeman, put them behind bars.
That's a better story than the fire bat story.
Yeah, well,
Oh
we
yeah,
did have.
it really is. I mean, Lou,
Yeah,
Lou's
it
doing
is.
that. Lou, it's crazy. Lou, you want to talk about that, Lou?
Well, all I see is this brake smoke, and the girl cut right across, hit the other car. The car goes down off the shoulder, down into the almost to the trees. So I pulled over with a couple other individuals. I got the little girl in the back out of the car. One of the other people that stopped got the baby out of the car seat as the mother and father were getting out through the windows of the car. And then somebody yelled, "Look, she's getting away, she's getting away." And since my car was the closest, I said, "Well, I'll go follow her," and ended up following her for about 2.5, 3 miles until her tire practically fell off and she was riding on her rim and pulled into a gas station and waited for the Mississippi State Police to get there. And of course,
Good for
she's
you.
yelling at me that it's not my problem because she saw the New Jersey plates. Told me to mind my own business.
I'm going to give you a high five as a hero there.
There you go.
Lou.
Well,
You're gonna get a high five as a hero, Lou, for sure.
most probably don't know Lou's background, but let's just say he's very friendly of the blue line there. We'll just leave it at that. So I think he was just doing his due diligence, if I would. He's like me. We're both retired. I'm the one that's tired. He's this on the go guy. He's always on the go. So, in any event, Lou, thanks for coming on the show. John, thanks for coming on the show. Ed, anything else?
Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Thanks for having us. Yep.
Yep.
Well,
You guys.
I want to thank both of them for jumping in, but I cannot. Let's go back over the Craps for the Cure real quick.
Yep.
All right, so it's coming in September
12th, 14th,
13th, 14th. Really, the 12th is there because that's John's birthday. That's also my wife's birthday. So my wife and I and her sister will be in town. We'll be in Vegas. So I got a lot of obligations between Thursday and Friday and early Saturday morning, and then I'm going to jump over there to the Craps for the Cure, do my little deal with them as much as I can. I'm probably going to buy me an armband so I can go play on that table, but I can't do it until either probably, I don't know if I can do it Saturday night or Sunday night, but I'll get on that table.
Awesome.
Probably Saturday night. I can't do it Friday night because that's my wife. We've already made reservations for about 7 or 8 people for a big meal for my wife's birthday. But I'll try to get over there on Saturday night if I possibly can. So I'll have an armband. I'll buy me an armband so I can get on the table. But folks, if you're out there watching us at this point, and you get an opportunity to go vote. There's only one reason you get an opportunity to go vote. Somebody died to give you that opportunity, and those that didn't die came home, and so we're there to support those that came home.
Yes, we are.
Go to crapsforthecure.com, make a donation, buy something to support this particular organization, because every dollar you give goes to the organization. There's not any bullshit in there. There's not any corporate crap in there. You can give knowing that everything you do goes directly to that organization and help support our veterans that came home with issues, and they're all come home with issues because they fought in a war somewhere to give you the freedom to go vote in the next election.
Yep. And if you cannot be there, you can still donate, buy a ticket, and you can watch on Casino Quest YouTube channel the entire time.
By all
John,
means, watch that whole day, man. That whole
it's
for 2 days.
It starts 10 a.m.
all day, man.
10 a.m. Vegas time, correct, John? Till 6
That's right.
or so, both days.
10 a.m. till we finish. Yeah, 6 or 7.
Yeah, and so watch it and join. Ed's going to be on there. You never know who else might show up. I won't say anything, but somebody told me that I have an airplane ticket ride there. I'm not too sure about that, but we'll see.
I might be the only guy that shows up with hair.
Might be. You might be. Because Ian's going to be there. He's got nothing. I don't think Leon's got nothing. I think
yeah, but Leon's got that full beard.
These guys down here, by
Hair on the head, dude. I'm talking about hair on the head. I'm the only one going to show up with hair on the head.
Oh my God, I think you're right. I think everybody's.
I'm older than all of you, and I still got hair on my head.
Lou, I'm starting to take offense. I think John could probably grow some hair. I mean, but I'm starting to be offended.
I can't. Dude, I tried last November, but you don't shave for a month. I tried. It was literally here, and here. It was awful.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my God. It was, my wife's like, "Will you stop it?" And I'm like, "I can't wait."
Well, let me see if I can put this out here, and we'll close the show up here. Lou, you don't have a YouTube channel, but you've become very anchored in the craps community on all aspects, from East Coast to West Coast. And John's got a YouTube channel. He's Pro Craps, Casino Gaming TV. John is the wizard behind the Craps Chat show. Now that I hosted it for the first couple of years, John knows and feels my pain when he runs the shows because it can be difficult at times. And that show's coming back. I think it's going to premiere on Sunday of that
That's right. First episode. Yep.
Yeah.
It'll be in
So,
for. Yeah.
so Lou, you've come to know a lot of the YouTubers and a lot of the players that come there. Sum up, give us like a 30-second summation of not how you feel about the community, but about what you think this community does together.
My number one thing is the camaraderie. I just can't put a price tag on it. These meetups that we do really helps, especially with at my age, trying to make friends at my age and being as cynical I was because of the profession I was in was really hard when I retired. The highlight of my day when I retired was walking to the mailbox until I got involved with this community, and it's been very, very helpful. I've got a lot of great, strong friends that look out for me, and if they don't hear from me, they text me or call me to make sure that I'm all right, as well as my wife. It's fantastic.
Yep.
Like I said, it's all about the camaraderie for me, and of course, making some money on the side.
Well, I thought that might be number one, but no, I understand. Just like that gentleman, I think you both will probably watch the show. The guy just popped in, and neither one of us had heard from him. The CPA guy, Jonathan, down in Florida, that came on the show earlier today. I mean, I think he found a new couple of friends and a new community. Hopefully, that he'll come out and participate with some of the events that we have. Maybe run into him at the table. But this is awesome. John is on the West Coast. Lou's in Jersey. Ed's in Alabama. I'm in Maryland. John's got something to do tomorrow, so I know he's got to get ready to go. I appreciate both of you coming on the show, making this show the second episode. And I forgot how Ed so eloquently animated said at the beginning of the show what you said. How did you say it, Ed? The second episode.
I don't even remember now.
Yeah, you got a little animated with that.
Season 1, episode 2. I don't know. What?
Yeah, so something like that. The name of the show, Beyond the Passline, has this fulfilled? No chips left unturned. I mean, are we doing a good service here, John? You're an expert, and Lou, you're in the community.
Hmm? I think so.
Yeah.
Like, so, at the risk of sounding stupid, I love music. I told you before, when the first Craps guy, like, my favorite, I don't listen to music in my car at all. I just put on talk radio.
Right.
Of all different types, sports, whatever. And I could do it all day long. So when you first did Craps on the talk radio format, like, that's freaking perfect because, you can do a podcast like Ed, like with 10 ton. I can do my daily show, and we can all do these videos, and it's all kind of the same. You can't predict what's going to happen.
Well,
right? It's always fresh and different, and it's like, even if the same questions get asked every week, someone new's watching it, and it's just, I think I love the format. I really like this format.
Yep. No, go ahead.
It's spontaneous. That's what I like about it, because you don't know what's going to happen.
Well,
just like Casino Tears.
Well, there's a different atmosphere between 10 Ton and Ed, and I've known Ed for multiple years. I've only known 10 Ton for a little while, but I had an opportunity to talk to him recently, and the way that he described Ed was spot on. Ed and I sort of clicked a few years ago. It's been going ever since then, and neither one of us kind of hold back punches. Ed's told me a few things here this past year that I needed to hear, and I appreciate that friendship, but it's all good. Just want to know what you thought of the show, and I asked Ed when he thought we were going to do this again, and his first reaction was maybe in a year. Here we are back 2 weeks later. Oh my! Yes, I know there's audio problems with John.
That is totally your fault. That is totally your fault. But everybody, you got to understand, John is in a hotel far, far away from home, and he's using hotel Wi-Fi trying to jump in here. So there's going to be an audio issue. We can't help that. That's just That's just a situation of the internet.
But little do most people know, his audio was excellent like 2 hours ago. he was coming through. All right, guys, we do have to wrap this up.
There's so many craps people online right now that it's just killing the internet, right?
Right?
But
Yeah.
Lou, I appreciate you as a friend. John, I appreciate you as a friend, even though I make fun of you all the freaking time.
Love it.
All right, guys.
Take care,
Appreciate
gentlemen.
every one of you.
Yep. Go ahead, Ed. Do your roll practice like you know.
Yeah. All right. So everybody, look, go to crapsforthecure.com, support the cause, practice like you play like you practice. Go roll to win.
All right, guys. We'll see you on the next one. John and Lou, hang in here. Let's go ahead and get out of here. We'll see you. Lord knows when the next one will be because the Craps for the Cure is coming up, and I'm heading that way. I'll be in Atlantic City this coming week, but I hope Ed and I will be back. We appreciate all your comments, all your text messages and emails that we got after the first show. Hopefully they'll continue. As always, God bless each and every one of you. Be safe and play smart.